Hey, I wanted to make this fun video and explaining that there's some limitations you need to know with generative AI. Often we have bad results, and sometimes we don't even realize they're bad results. So I'm going to show you an example of the reasons why you can have bad results. Obviously, there are several factors. I will say the first one is usually a bad prompt. So it's us. A second one, if you're using generative AI in your environment, it's bad data, garbage in, garbage out. If you have a mess of your document, in your document, several times the same documents with different names or different version with the same name, it's hard for generative AI to figure it out. Another reason is the bias that that the generative AI can have, and another reason can be the limitations or the hallucinations. So let's see this example. So I don't know if you saw that today Microsoft announced an integration of Anthropic Cloud for Researcher and for Copilot Studio. So I was wondering, what is the difference? And I wanted to compare some LLM capability on the context window, because I've read somewhere that the fact that they integrate Claude will enable to have access to bigger documents, and it's tied to context window, the number of tokens that you can use in a prompt. So not the size of your prompt, but what is injected as a source for the prompt. So I asked the same question here in Gemini, here in Microsoft Copilot, the free version, the consumer version, here on the bottom left to ChatGPT. To Claude, and here to ChatGPT. And it's interesting to see the differences in the result. So let's start with Gemini. So Gemini, what does it say? So it says GPT-5. Oh, not many, not a big size. 196, depending on your model. It says Claude is 1 million, and Gemini is 1 million. So they ask for the latest model. So now let's look at what Claude said. Claude didn't find GPT-5, though asked to give the date. So I don't know why they stopped in December, since GPT-5 is there, but they found Anthropic. So I would call that a bias. They surface recent documents for Anthropic, but not recent documents for OpenAI, which is weird. And so apparently there's, Claude says 1 million for Sonnet 4. It's not clear, standard enterprise, but 500,000 for enterprise. What is the difference between all of them? I don't know. So I don't even have the same model, but apparently Gemini has 2 million, according to Sonnet, so to Claude. According to Gemini, he has 1 million. So, so Claude is more optimistic since 2024. So it can be very confusing if you're doing research. Here, all the LLM have different answers. So Copilot, I was just wondering, but the Copilot is the same thing that ChatGPT 5. You see, I use Smart GPT 5. And here, same thing. It gave a limited number of tokens, but apparently Claude is 1 million. So everywhere Claude is 1 million. So it feels like Claude and Gemini have the biggest context window. Gemini can have more on the roadmap. I'm not sure. By March, it was in March. So basically, might be garbage in, garbage out. They're relying on what data. There's an article, so I should dig into those articles to see who wrote this article, and it doesn't mean it's true. It's not because somebody is writing an article that it's true. And ChatGPT, what do they say? They don't find GPT-5, which is really weird. You know, they don't acknowledge their own. But when they found GPT 4.1, there's 1 million tokens, and so they are on par with Cloud Sonnet. So is it the bias? Is it the source that is not good? So you can see it can be very challenging to work with generative AI. I used four different. I even tried in Perplexity, but they all have different results. It's basically, I will say, because of bias, because of source of data that is not reliable, and maybe it's because of my prompt. Maybe my prompt is not good enough. Maybe I should say trusted resources only coming from the LLM owner or something like that. But obviously, they don't have the same results. Apparently, the only constant here is Cloud Sonnet has 1 million token everywhere. So it seems to be true to me. And so that's probably the reason why Microsoft is integrated to Cloud Sonnet as a trial in Researcher. Know that it's risky because you share your data with Cloud, so you shouldn't enable it for users, only for test, and you shouldn't share, obviously, content from your environment if you're using Microsoft 365 Copilot. So that was my funny experience of the day. Be aware of the limitations, be aware of the biases, be aware of the data garbage in, garbage out risks, and be aware of your own limitations in the way you're prompting. Hope this was insightful.